and welcome to Connected episode 316. It's made possible by our sponsors, Smile, ExpressVPN, and Incipio. My name is Stephen Hackett, and I am joined by Mr. Federico Viticci.
Hello. Hi.
Hey, buddy. Congratulations on the review. We'll get to that.
Thank you.
Very exciting.
Thank you.
We're also joined by Mr. Mike Hurley.
Ahoy there.
Hello, Mike.
Greetings, Captain.
Hi.
Stephen, I take issue with the fact that the only thing you congratulate me for is my review.
Also for being handsome and tall.
And
is
there anything else? Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Oh, I see what he's doing.
God.
I see what he's
Fishing.
doing. You just wait. You just wait.
Yes, that's what I'm doing. I'm
This
waiting.
episode is like the Federico Viticci celebratory tour. So we're just going from thing to thing that you have done.
Yeah, wait for my three-peat next month. Then we can talk again. I'm gonna take the Mac event away from you both, especially
Yeah, but
from
like,
Stephen.
what's better, winning a bunch of events or being so smart in January that you win an entire year? You know, like anyone can make a guess
I will take the
when an
three-peat.
event's round the corner.
I'll still take the three-peat. I want rings like LeBron. That's what I want.
Right.
I want 3 rings by this time next month.
I'm not 100% sure what that reference means. I know
That's when you win the NBA. That's
you
when
get 3 rings. Oh, what, like
you get
actual rings?
You get a ring every time you win the championship.
And you
isn't that
want
right?
3 of them.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hey, I know sports. I know something about sports.
You could tattoo across your knuckles RICKIES exclamation point or a trophy. Ricky's.
Or that tattoo on your neck. Just get it. Say Ricky.
I was about to mention
There you
that. I'm surprised that nobody has yet commented on the reference in multiple
I saw it.
screenshots. Okay, you saw it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
saw it. I meant to text you about it, but I forgot. It was like, that date passed. Did you get it done? Is this like another tattoo thing that you've done?
No, I'm still researching. As the screenshot said, I'm still collecting ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There is no conspiracy when it comes to sea lions. So if you may remember on our last episode, we questioned if the NOAA website could be trusted about its seal and sea lion evidence. Remember, we got that sent into us?
Yeah.
NOAA?
Noah's not on the... They're not tricky, I guess, it turns out.
About what the difference was, and we were wondering if there was a conspiracy. And then Troy wrote in to say, I am the guy who runs the NOAA website, the article about seals and sea lions, and has been listening to Connected for years. So we can assume that any Connected listener would not be involved in conspiracies and collusions. So we must trust the NOAA website. And that was honestly one of my favorite pieces of follow-up in a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We can finally say that the government is listening to us.
Finally.
In a non-ironic way.
In the things that are important.
Exactly. The preservation of the species of seals and sea lions.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Thank you for this very important piece of follow-up. I'm still not convinced, but this is good follow-up.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other bit of follow-up is that your iOS 14 review is here. It's not really a follow-up. This is a mini topic. Or it's whatever Mike decides the chapter is, because he's editing this week. But Federico, your review is out. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes. So today I finally published my iOS and iPadOS 14 review. It's up on Mac Stories. It's there's also a special episode of App Stories to go with it. You can find it in the first page of the review. So yeah, this is what I've been working on for the past 4 months. It's available in 9 chapters. I try to cover everything that I could possibly cover. It includes design, iPadOS, shortcuts. Most of the apps updates, I didn't cover the things that the guys at Mac Stories, John and Ryan and Alex, already covered this summer. Stuff that I don't get access to, like maps, for example. But I covered everything else, and you can read it as always. There's a special layout and design on Mac Stories with 3D graphics and animations and all of that. But there are also obviously a collection of perks for Club Mac Stories members. So if you sign up for the club, you get the usual ebook. And this year, the surprise that I have been teasing, there's also going to be a second ebook in which I collected 40 of my favorite tips and tricks about
Teachy
iOS
tips.
and iPadOS. Yes, 40 teachy tips about iOS and iPadOS 14 in a second ebook. So if you're one of those people who are like, yeah, this is too long, I don't care, but you just want to get the good stuff, that ebook is for you. This is an idea that we discussed on Connected months ago. Like, wouldn't it be nice if I could find a way to collect like all the most interesting, like this little hidden things and features and details of iOS and present them in a way that makes sense? And as I was editing the review, I realized, well, I can just copy and paste the things that I find as I read my own review, and I can save them in a note. And then later, thanks to Ryan's collaboration, we turned that note into an ebook. So you can go there. It's like it's not too long. It's 40 tips for all kinds of features, reminders, messages, Siri, settings, all kinds of stuff.
Nice.
There's also wallpapers. So Sylvia made wallpapers for us for the iPhone 11, 11 Pro, and 11 Pro Max. And those are widget-friendly wallpapers in that they have this kind of peculiar design with a gradient and sort of like a platform in the middle where you
They're
can
good.
place your widgets and icons.
I didn't know Sylvia did them. She did a very
Yeah.
good job with those.
Thank you. Yeah, she did. And you can see the examples of those wallpapers in the review itself because
Mhm.
I used them myself for the screenshots.
You've been tweeting them too. Like
I've been tweeting
pictures
them.
of your
Yeah.
home screen and stuff.
Yeah.
They're
And
very good.
there's going to be the usual making of in Mac Stories Weekly. Brian King, our 3D artist and animator, is going to share everything about his wild setup for creating the custom animations and graphics. And there's going to be an episode of Mac Stories Unplugged on Saturday as well. So big collection of perks. And generally speaking, the response seems really, really good so far, even though I'm a month late compared to the release of iOS 14.
You know, I was thinking about this today. You're actually perfectly on time because this is when you would always do it, like a day or two after the iPhone.
Yeah, that's actually true. It's right on time. And it's, if you remember back in June when we did Connected, and I said, I think the review is going to be ready by mid-October.
Yeah.
And it is, in fact, October 14th. So
you were on time. Apple was early. You can't control that.
Yeah, I was on time. And also I should mention that the review covers iOS 14.2 as well. So the new features coming in the next big update.
So you're early again.
So when you think about it, I'm actually early. When you think about it, I'm actually breaking the NDA. So, oops.
I would like to comment on something that I like about your review whilst also telling a weird story, I guess.
Okay.
So the visual design stuff that you and Brian King, who I guess would we say Brian King works in like the film and TV industry mostly in special effects, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Brian puts together these really incredible scenarios that look like they're real but are actually all 3D effects, right? Phones and stuff like that. And the best one by far this year is in the design section.
Yeah.
I think the best image. And so in the design section, right at the very top of the review, you can go look at it. There are like these little widgets that are made, that are real, right? Effectively. And they're stacked on top of an iPad. So there's like a little color widget and it's like a little piece of, looks like a little piece of plastic or something. But I wanted to say, have you ever had that feeling of like, you have a sponge, right? Like a cleaning sponge or a sponge you use in the bathroom or something. And you want to bite the sponge. Like you get an overwhelming urge to want to bite the sponge. Have you ever had this?
No.
No.
This is a phenomenon which is not only my own. I've heard this from other people, but you know what I'm talking. Like you have like a sponge, and you get like an overwhelming urge to just bite the sponge. I don't know where it comes from.
Just to know what it would taste like?
No, I don't know what it is. I just want to have the feeling of biting it.
Okay.
I feel this way looking at these widgets. These little. I want to bite them. I don't know why.
What was it, Steven? What was the Steve Jobs reference? The Aqua UI is so
Lickable.
shiny. You want to lick it?
You could lick it.
Yeah.
So, but these widgets look so good. I want to bite them. Like
yeah, those 3D elements were were fun. Totally Brian's idea. It was like, hey, why don't we turn the UI elements into characters
Genius.
this year?
Very smart.
That was such a genius idea. And also, I want to point out the use of color throughout the chapter images, those sort of gradients that Brian used, and especially in the intro. If you pay attention in the very first second of the animation, you will see a music widget. Actually, you will see a bunch of widgets fly by.
Mhm.
Now, those widgets, they look real. They look like the real iOS widgets. But actually, they were rebuilt by Brian in Figma. So those were rebuilt to look like the native iOS widgets. And in the music widget, you will see the one, if you pay attention. And by the way, you can reverse the animation. So if you scroll back, the animation will play in reverse.
That always surprises me, but I
Yeah.
love it every time.
If you pay attention, you will see that the Taylor Swift album Lover is in the music widget, and we used the colors of the Lover album as inspiration for the colors used in the intro shot.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So, yeah.
I can't believe that when you do that, I've just noticed this, the timery widget is animating and it's counting up in seconds.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
such good attention to detail. Bravo to you and everybody involved. I
Thank
hope
you.
that people enjoy it. I'm enjoying it very much as always, and I'm really actually very pleased to dig into that tips and tricks book as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
I wanted to get some statistics from you, Federico. Can you give me some
Yes.
statistics?
What do you want to know? Let me check.
Well, one, I want to
have
know
the-
word count.
61,000.
And how does that compare to last year?
Last year was 76,000.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. 50,000 words less than last year.
Right. Good
so,
work.
Yeah. I can tell you what else. 9 chapters,
How long did it take? Are the hours?
250 hours, same as last year. So I was a bit slower, even if the review is actually shorter, because also last year was 251 or something. 351 links, 334 images, 42 footnotes, 29 videos. So again, last year was like over 40 videos. It was a bigger review last year with the debut of iPadOS. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. I would have liked it to be somewhere around 50, honestly. But the apps chapter came out longer than I was expecting it to be.
Right. Do you want to say anything else on the review? Like, I don't want to step all over app stories and stuff.
No, I just obviously I'm very happy that it's done.
I bet.
Publishing day is always like a mix of emotion, especially this year. I think what I learned about myself this year is that I'm still not good enough when it comes to work-life balance. I think I'm getting better slowly over the years, especially in it's the final stage of the review that always gets me, and I get too nervous and anxious, and and it takes a toll on Sylvia and people around me. Like, it's always the final 2 weeks where I completely isolate myself to get it done, and that I should learn to manage better. I also want to say that I'm obviously very thankful for all the people from Connected and from App Stories, from Mac Stories, who just send me so many nice messages over the past month. That's so encouraging. Every time I get a nice note from someone saying, yeah, it's fine, take your time. And also, I think in terms of, I always get those few people saying, why do you keep doing this? What's the point? I can just go to YouTube and watch a video or something. Why don't you stop? I'm not stopping. I want to do this again. And I think I do it for myself, mostly. And the fact that it can also be enjoyed by other people, it's a nice plus. Yeah. This is the kind of work that I need to do for myself. It's like the kind of story that I need to have on my own website for me. And then if it can also help other people, then great. And I think I want to see what happens next year. I definitely, in hindsight, I can tell that the reason I was slower in putting this together was the lack of a WWDC in person. Like, looking back, I absolutely felt the lack of the conversations with developers, being able to actually be at the event, talk to Apple engineers. It took me longer, like in looking at Timery and the stats that I have, over 40 hours of research. Those used to be 20 or something. So it took me double the amount of time to understand all the details and how things work. And I strongly feel like that is related to not being able to have those thoughts come together naturally at WWDC. And just being stuck at home on my own, just watching videos, I could definitely tell the difference there.
I think too, I've had this with my Big Sur stuff. It's harder to like get going on it because I feel like we have all of this momentum coming off WWDC. We're all excited, and it's kind of hard to get into that space, at least for me this year.
Yeah. I don't know. I really, on one hand, I really would like WWDC to happen again next year. But like realistically speaking, do we think there's going to be an in-person WWDC 2021?
No,
I don't think so.
I had this thought today. I would be willing to put money on it.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening next year either.
And I'm not saying WWDC never happens, but June feels too close.
Yeah.
That's like best part 7 months away.
Yeah.
It's not like there's no way it's taken care of. And I mean, if Apple said, like, I don't think I would want to do it now. It feels too close. I can't imagine this. Like, I can't imagine that there is a situation in which COVID is taken care of enough that you could bring 5,000 people to a place. Right? Like, no matter where we are, even if things are getting better, I can't imagine huge conferences. And also, I wouldn't want to be a company. This is the same thing we were talking about in like May. I wouldn't want to be responsible for that. So I don't think it's happening. I do think it will. I don't think it's 2021.
Yeah. So maybe my lesson for next year is how can you speed up the process, the research process, in a way that it doesn't take you 40 hours?
Mm-hmm.
And how can you get to know the details and everything better, even if you can talk to developers in person? So honestly, I have no idea. So everything else about the setup and the process, there was a horrible catastrophe that happened in the very last stages of editing that we'll talk about on Unplugged, where my whole image upload thing broke last weekend. Yeah, that was a whole thing. It was a mess. I was stressed out to say the least. Yes, that was a whole thing. But overall, like, I'm pretty happy with it. I even shared with Mike and Steven my custom template for reading the review in IA Writer.
I'm in the mainframe now.
So, I'm very happy with IA Writer, which I used again to write the review, to assemble all the chapters. I guess the only thing is try and manage the stress in the final 2 weeks better, and figure out a better research workflow or something. I don't know, maybe I should just schedule a bunch of Skype calls with developers and be like, hey, talk to me about iOS 15. What do you think? What are you going to do? Maybe that's an idea.
I think that could be really useful. And, you could even get ideas for app stories or other things from that.
And everyone would benefit from it. Maybe you just need a big Zoom call.
Mm-hmm.
Do it that way.
Oh, I've just been tech memed. Okay. Extensive iOS. And did anybody tip tech meme?
You got to say it. Tip tech
I know
meme.
Steven always does it.
Tip it.
Steven still tips tech meme. Ironically.
Yeah, but only when I'm writing about like laser writer printers.
Exactly.
Or something.
Yes. Yes. All right. So anyway, thank you guys for allowing me, obviously, both of you, to talk about the review this summer. Mm-hmm. It's always beneficial to get your ideas, get your feedback, and obviously the encouragement and I know that I can be difficult to work with in the summer, so I want to just say publicly I appreciate you both and John and Ryan.
We understand.
Dealing with me.
It's been enough time now. We kind of just know. That's
I know.
a good working
I know.
relationship. It's a good friendship, right? Like you understand what people need and how you can help them.
But you also have things going on in your lives that other people could be like, just screw this guy. I don't have time for your problems. And
They would be fools.
so thank you. Appreciate it.
The one thing I will say, though, is because I've given you so much time here, we don't have enough time for my TVOS review today.
No, is that the reason?
Man.
Is that the reason?
Yeah, we just don't have time today.
I appreciate that you don't want to steal my spotlight.
I mean,
Mike.
it's just bad business,
Sure.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Okay, I'm still waiting. I don't know anything about tvOS 14. So
Nobody does.
I need to
except
know how
me.
to use my television. Come on,
You just wait.
give me
You just
something.
wait.
Otherwise, I'm just staring at the Big Brother all day. I don't know how to use tvOS anymore.
This episode of Connected is brought to you by Text Expander from our friends over at Smile. Take your time back with the power of Text Expander. Repetitive typing, little mistakes, searching for answers, they're all taking precious time away from you and your team, and with Text Expander, you can take it back. The latest version of Text Expander has new and improved stat reporting for organizations. This includes the ability to build reports with customizable date ranges for enterprise and individuals, so you can track how much your time your team is saving. With Text Expander, you can keep your team consistent, accurate, and current. Share your text and images with the whole staff to keep them on track, because everyone will share the same messaging and give the same answers to all customer questions. This lets you work faster and smarter. Use Text Expander's powerful shortcuts and abbreviations to streamline and speed up everything you type. Create powerful snippets to save you time. So all you have to type is the short abbreviation, and Text Expander does the rest of the typing for you. You can keep your whole team communicating efficiently with consistent language. And it's more than just standard text. You can share signatures, descriptions, all sorts of things with people who work on projects with you. Here at Relay FM, we have a shared Text Expander snippet group of our sponsor names because a bunch of them have weirdo spelling or this letter's uppercase and this one's not. We want to get that right. We want to be professional when we communicate. And so we rely on Text Expander for that. So if I type a sponsor name and it corrects, then I know that I am good to go. Text Expander is available on the Mac, Windows, Chrome, iPhone, and iPad. Connected listeners will get 20% off their first year by visiting textexpander.com/podcast to learn more. That's textexpander.com/podcast for 20% off your first year. Our thanks to Text Expander for their support of the show and Relay FM. It is time, gentlemen. It's time to score the Rickies.
Please read the rules.
I think I will.
The Bill of Rickies.
I feel like I don't remember the rules anymore.
I need a refresh.
Can we please go over the rules again?
Yes.
Okay.
The winner, who should be called Keynote Chairman, from the previous Rickies gets to pick first, and the second place winner picks second. Annual winners roll over to preserve the order. 2019 annual winner gets to go first, etc. Order for Apple event Rickies, which is what this is based on the previous Apple event. The loser goes last. Loser is capitalized in our document, dear listener. It's a title. A title of shame. To earn any points, everything written down in the prediction document must come true. No half points may be awarded in any round, and picks cannot be reused. 1 point is awarded for any pick deemed correct in the first 2 rounds. 2 points will be awarded for the correct picks in the risky pick round. If your risky pick is wrong, you will lose a point, and of course, the other 2 hosts must agree that your pick is, quote, risky. The winner of the regular and risky picks must be granted access to the annual or event chairman Twitter account, whichever applies, and will retain access until another winner is named. Loser of the non-graded Flexies must compensate the winner of the Flexies by donating to the charity of the winner's choice. The amount of the donation is $25 per wrong Flexi made by the loser. In the case of a tie, the ratio of correct to incorrect Flexies will be taken into account. Each host must make a minimum of 5 Flexi picks, and the money must be donated on air. Those are the rules. Everybody feel good about that?
I feel much better now. Thank you.
Good. So we'll start with round 1 because it's the first round. Federico, you got to go first, and you said the new iPhones will carry a new design inspired by the iPad Pro / iPhone 4. Flat sides is what we were looking for here.
Yes, and we did get that new design, right? The flat sides on all the iPhone 12 models, both the standard iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro. They all got the flat sides, and the only difference is the material used. It's aluminum on the 12 and stainless steel on the 12 Pro. And I gotta say, it looks really nice on the Pro, especially the gold and the blue. They look super nice. So who knew that a 7-year-old design, actually even more if you consider the iPhone 4, could still look this good in 2020? Some designs really are timeless.
What I've liked seeing is like people doing comparisons online and showing the difference, right? Like there's like this combination effect because the screens have gotten bigger, but the phones haven't gotten that much bigger. And it's this combination of like bringing the sides in by flattening them down, and then also stretching the screens out. So these phones look really good, really good.
Yeah, so it was pretty much a given that we were getting this kind of design. I mean, they've been rumored forever. We've seen the case manufacturers get their hands on the renderings and the CAD drawings. So yeah, kind of an obvious pick, but this is a regular pick, so I get the point.
You do, yeah. I do think they look great. I'm very excited to see the finishes. What do y'all? Well, we'll talk about colors in round 2. I'll hold on to that for now. The second pick was Mike's. Mike, you said Apple announces 4 phones, but only in 3 different sizes.
Can I just say that the two of you really struggled with this one, right? Like there was like I remember having to explain myself way more than I expected I would need to.
I know why. Because I totally forgot, because I hadn't been following the rumors, I think, that the current iPhone 11 Pro is 5.8 inches. And I totally wasn't getting the moving from 5.8 to 6.1. I don't know. I was very confused by the numbers because I hadn't kept up with the rumors. But now I get it. This was an obvious pick given the rumors, given the reports. And now I see, I'm surprised that I was that.
Right, but but it's more than that, though, which is what I was getting at. They are physically the exact same size.
Yeah.
Which is not what it was before. It's not just screen size. I think that's the interesting thing here. The screen size matches with the iPhone 11 screen size, but the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 are physically the same in every dimension. But the iPhone 12 Pro is heavier because it has stainless steel.
Yeah, this was a good pick.
And this is one of the things that, of this lineup, I think people that had the 11 Pro, they are the people that have the hardest time to decide what they want, I think. Because Apple do not make a phone which is the same size anymore. And I know people might be like, oh, but the dimensions, but the screen getting bigger, you will notice it because now you have to reach further to get to everything on the phone, right? So, but also the phone is physically bigger. It's not by a lot, but it is, and the screen is bigger too. So I can imagine a lot of people that had the 11 Pro are really struggling as to whether they go with the 12 Pro or the 12 Mini. And I can imagine that being a difficult decision for a lot of people. I know we have one of those people on our call today. So yeah, I know that it's going to be difficult, I think, for a lot of people if they're upgrading to make that decision. Where if you're in Max Club, they've made the decision so easy. Every doubt that I had, Apple has proven to me why I should stay with the large phone. So, but if you are in if you're in that middle group, I think it's a little bit trickier now.
I think the line makes a lot more sense than it did previously when the 10R and the 11 were in between the sizes of the Pro. Because people, for right or for wrong, think in technology like bigger is better and bigger is a reasonable reason for it to be more expensive, right? And the 11 being like big and cheaper, I think it just was a little bit messier than it needed to be. And now they make more sense, right? The 12 is the little one, the mini, and then this middle-sized one, and the cheaper Pro is the same size.
Well, the 11 is still there, and it's the bigger physically, but the screen size is the same. But you could still buy the 11.
Right. And the 10R, actually. The 10R stuck around, too.
That was a surprise to me. But, do your thing, I guess.
So yeah, that is your pick. Well done.
Thank you.
My pick was ProMotion does not come to new iPhones. We did not get it.
I'm bummed out about this. I am.
Yeah.
I'm bummed out about it. This is the thing that I have the most disappointment about. Like, we'll get to it later. I wanted Touch ID, but that was a whatever. I really felt like this phone should have had this feature, and I am somewhat disappointed that it doesn't.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I mean, it's all over the place out in the world, right, on other manufacturers' phones. And so it is totally doable with OLED. That was kind of a saving grace of Apple for a little while, that early OLEDs couldn't be pushed this fast, but now that's been resolved, including by Samsung, who makes the displays in the iPhone. But yeah, maybe next year, guys.
I saw a rumor that I didn't really believe. Somebody said ProMotion is actually disabled in software, and Apple will turn it on with the software update.
No, that's madness. This is somebody who's read what I think is a credible rumor and taken their own spin on it. Where the credible rumor that I believe is that most of the technology inside of the phone is capable of it, but they are missing a component that they would need to be able to do it. So this is, I've seen this reported in a couple of different ways from a couple of different sources, which was that like Apple was trying to do it, but they couldn't. We've spoken about this in the show, but couldn't get a controller that they need. I believe that the idea that they would have a feature like this and it's enabled in software is so stupid. Like, because even if that was the case,
not mincing any words,
they would just say, right?
Yeah.
They would say coming later this year.
Yes, exactly.
Right, because they have no problem doing that. Like, that is a rumor predicated on somebody's wish that they're going to get the promotion display on their phone. Like, I'm sorry, it's not a thing that's happening this year. I expect it will happen next year. But it is a disappointment because I really wanted to see that, because this is now, like Apple, for some reason, really cares so deeply about 5G, which is a feature that other smartphones have. And like the reason that I suggested that they would have it, and the reason that lots of people believe they would have it, is because it keeps up with the Joneses, right? Their competition has 5G. It's an important feature. It is the same for high refresh rate displays. Like, that is what the smartphone market is doing today. Like, there are companies, Android makers, that they're releasing phones that are way cheaper than any of these with 120 hertz refresh rate displays. Like, it has become standard practice. I totally understand the argument that, and it's probably why it's happened, that Apple operates at such a scale that they need to be able to guarantee a certain amount made, right? Which other companies don't have to do. Like, for them, they have to forecast, right? We need to be able to make however many million of these. And it would seem, if you were to believe the rumor, that they couldn't get enough of a certain component to let them do this. And I can totally understand all of that, but I can still be disappointed about it, and I am.
iPhone 13 next year, iPhone 13 Pro, I'm calling it, ProMotion, and USB-C. And let's see what else.
I think USB-C is even less likely than ever now because of our old friend MagSafe.
Okay, ProMotion, no port. I'm going in the opposite direction.
I think we're more likely to have no port now that we have MagSafe. That's how I
I
feel
know.
on this.
I know.
Isn't it funny as well that thing that everyone thought was a smart connector, it turns out to just be a 5G antenna? Did you see that?
There's still some crazy individuals out there, Mike, that believe that you should use an Apple Pencil with the iPhone. So
Wait. When was the last time I said that?
you said it at some point.
A
You
long
said,
time
I'm
ago.
sure.
What I'm saying is,
no.
if I have
Months ago. It's not a long time.
all right, but look how big the Pro Max is now. You could take some nice notes on that.
No.
And it would have to be a little Apple Pencil is what I want, not the big one.
No.
I also don't think I would even really use that feature, but I still think it's a feature they could do. And I think, but anyway, it is a not a smart connector at all. It's the millimeter wave antenna.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a boring antenna line.
Definitely reminded me of the iPhone 4 where they marked the antenna. It's like, don't hold it here.
Yeah.
But the thing is, millimeter wave is in so few places, no one will grab it wrong.
that antenna is only on the American version of the phone.
Yeah, it's because of Verizon's millimeter wave, which is 5G only here.
There are a bunch of asterisks to that, but sure.
I mean, it's what I read on the internet.
Like millimeter wave is not a Verizon thing.
Well, no, but they
have it.
so they supporting millimeter wave overseas.
I believe millimeter wave exists in other places.
But does this phone support them? I guess.
No, because the millimeter wave version of the phone is only being sold in America.
Okay, 5G is confusing and mostly terrible.
It's really confusing.
Mm-hmm. So at the end of round 1, we are tied with a point
Hooray!
each. Oh, I didn't ring the bells. We went. Hang on. There we
Nice.
go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice.
Something was missing.
Yeah, now it's here. All right, Federico, start off round 2 for us.
Round 2, I said one of the new iPhones will not have the USB charger in the box. And sure enough, yes, thank you, we saw Lisa Jackson very dangerously talking on top of the Apple Park roof, saying that for environmental reasons, basically the same argument that we got with the Apple Watch, that they're getting rid and also because everybody already has these accessories, they're getting rid of the earbuds and the charger in the box of the iPhone, which in return is gonna save them a lot of a lot of plastic, a lot of materials, and it's gonna make the iPhone box smaller, and that means also that it reduces carbon emissions, all that kind of reasonable arguments, and obviously it's also gonna save them a bunch of money because they don't have to include those accessories in the box anymore. So this was again pretty much an obvious one. Apple made the case for this last month with the Apple Watch, and they followed with the iPhone. And I saw, if I'm not mistaken, on Twitter Mark Gurman say that they are also going to update the iPhone SE, the package, by getting rid of the earbuds and the charger, I think. He tweeted about this yesterday at some point. Yeah, so...
Some follow-up from the Discord. Someone, Mike Cam, on
I
Twitter,
saw this yesterday.
emailed Tim Cook and said, "Hey, fantastic event. Did someone get Lisa Jackson down okay?" And he apparently forwarded it to Lisa Jackson, and Lisa replied, "I'm fine. Thanks for checking on me." Smiley face emoji. At 2:30 in the morning. Well, I guess 2:30 in the morning wherever
For
Mike
my
lives.
cam, yes.
Mike Cam.
Yeah.
Anyways, very funny little footnote to that story.
And the subject of the email was "How's Lisa?" It would have been funny if Tim Cook just replied with a picture of an Apple Lisa computer. Like that would have been.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah, I know you would have done that. How's Lisa?
Question.
Uh-huh.
Do you think a thought like that would ever occur to Tim Cook?
No.
Nope. It probably
Okay.
doesn't even. Well, I think he knows what it is, but it doesn't
His
strike
brain
me.
probably wouldn't jump there immediately.
It doesn't strike me as a jokester himself.
Yeah. He's anti-japes.
I don't think he would enjoy Connected.
No, that's
Just
not
the
true.
artwork.
That's not true.
Well-
Tim Cook has personally endorsed Connected by standing in front of our logo.
The old logo.
Doesn't matter. It was still us.
Still us.
It's still printed on a sheet of glass in my office.
Exactly. I have pictures of
Pre-puberty
him.
Connected. That's the old artwork. Yes.
I think it's our Twitter banner still.
Probably. I mean, it should be if it isn't.
Somebody hasn't done the work.
It is.
There you go.
Okay, so this next one we got to talk about because, Mike, your pick was Apple gives
this
another...
one.
Apple
I
gives
have no
another...
arguments to make here, by the way.
I know. We all know you got it wrong, but we need to talk about why you got it wrong because a lot of people, I think, assume that this made you correct.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So your pick was Apple gives another extended free period of TV Plus with new product purchases, even if you already had a trial, which we went round and round on this wording.
Yep.
The day after the show, the story broke. We have a link from 9 to 5 Mac that Apple was extending Apple TV Plus free trials. So that year trial, when you bought a phone last year, you got a free year.
Yep.
They were extending it through February. Now, the reason for this is obvious. They haven't been able to make new TV shows in a while.
Yep.
And so I'm sure they would be in a timeline without COVID. We would be having things like the morning show season 2 and, those original shows coming back and maybe even new things launching for the first time. All that's delayed. So Apple's giving everybody more time through February. That's fantastic, but that's not what you predicted.
No, because I was quite particular about it, saying new product purchases, even if you've already had a trial. So this wasn't what I predicted. I am less bullish on this as a thing that's happening, but I still think there is a possibility that Apple will do this again. They will say if you bought a phone, but I just don't think it's the time right now. I think if there's another event this year, we could still see another Apple TV, and if we do, I could imagine them wanting to do a little bundling. Someone did surface this from somewhere that if you buy a phone, one of these new phones, you get 3 months of Apple Arcade for free. I still think there is a possibility that Apple will do another trial period of TV Plus for free with purchases, but it isn't right now. This did actually bring up something which I think should be added into the Bill of Rickies. Because if my pick was Apple gives another extended free period of TV Plus, in theory, with the way that was written, this would have been correct. But it happened multiple days before the event. We have nothing in our rules to state when predictions begin, but we do have an unwritten rule of when they end. So the unwritten rule is anything that happens up until recording, right? If we can prove it, we get it. But we do not have a start time in the Bill of Rickies. I would like to propose an amendment to the Bill of Rickies, which says the picks can only be scored from when the event begins until we record. Anything that happens in between the Rickies being picked and the event starting, I don't think that should count.
I like that.
Because we would have been in real trouble if I would have said Apple gives another extended free period of TV Plus. If that was my pick, because I would have come to this show fighting, right, to get my point, and I shouldn't have.
Yeah. Well, so I agree we should clarify this because we have fallen into a loophole that our very otherwise well thought out and not at all hodgepodge set of rules accounted for.
They're almost too well thought out, which is the problem.
But my concern is starting at the keynote is that makes us too much like the upgrade drafts, I think. And
but the difference is that it goes all the way up until...
Yeah, but that's just like a day sometimes.
Right, but lots of information can be pulled out from then. Because the thing about the draft is we could have something completely wrong, but a spec page will show that it's correct, or vice versa. And I don't know. It needs to be clarified. My recommendation is that it should be from when the event starts. But if you two want it to be from when the picks are made, I won't oppose that.
Yeah, my suggestion is picks. The eligible scoring window is from when the episode is published to when the pick is made to when we start the scoring. Like maximum time. The reason I think this is because sometimes Apple dumps stuff like before WWDC. So say that a couple years ago, someone had made the pick of they are going to knock a percentage off subscription. Their cut of subscription money, right? That would have been a genius pick, but you would have lost it because Phil Schiller announced it 2 days before. See what I'm saying? Like,
No,
I feel
I get
like
it.
there's always possibility for something to happen before an event, and if you picked it, then you should get credit for it. Because the only reason it's not in the event is because a PR person made a decision. It was still going to be an announcement.
Federico, you have deciding vote on this.
I don't know. I really do like the idea of these are the rickies for the event, and everything we score based on the event and afterwards. So everything that happens from the time of the event and later.
Okay.
I really feel like because we're doing the rickies about the event.
We have other types of picks that run at random times throughout the year anyway, right? So like the annuals, it's like any time within the year. And so I feel like that's fine for that. But these are about the events.
It also it does introduce a secondary level of like a secondary challenge in that because now we know that Apple likes to sort of clear the decks before an event. Like you got to think about could this potentially be an announcement that they share before the event with a press release? Like I do like that it introduces that aspect as well, because now we know, right, that the days before an event, they are going to announce the things that they just want to announce and sort of taking them out of the day of the event. So that could be fun to consider. Like, for example, if at WWDC we said Apple is going to announce some developer changes. Now we know that they always like to do that before WWDC so that they get those issues out of the way first, right? So I'm inclined to say that because we have annual rickies that consider the whole year, and because the event rickies are called, we're doing this for events, for keynotes, I think we should score from the keynote onward, which is usually just an extra day or a couple of days.
Okay. Well, we gave you the final vote. I will say that the Discord mostly agrees with me, but that's fine.
Yeah, because they like chaos.
They do. The scoring window starts when the event begins and closes when the picks are scored.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I'm going to copy this down to the bottom of the document.
We are adding rules to the Bill of Rickies.
The problem is, if you have so many rules need to keep being added, right?
Well, that's how the Constitution was made.
I think it could be argued that one of the problems with the Constitution is there aren't enough new rules added and amended.
See, we are actually governing our rickies better than most governments do with their countries.
Yes.
Because we are keeping up with the times and with the changing reality of Apple events.
I think that there is a big problem in looking at a document written hundreds of years ago and then rigidly trying to stick to that and interpret it, where I feel like it is
Look
a
at us.
much better system
Being flexible,
to be open, to
you know?
be flexible to it.
Being keeping up with the times, you know?
That's right. Solving the problems their own rules created in the first place.
Well, you can look at it that way.
I don't know, solving was the right...
You can say that we know our legislation, we know what we're doing, and this is why people listen to us, because they trust us to make good rules.
And look how calm that whole process was.
Exactly. When something is fair and honest, and it's not like, Mike or Steven are trying to sneak a point in, as they always do, we don't argue. It's perfect. It's beautiful. When democracy wins, it's always beautiful. Right? No comment? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Perfect.
My second round pick was the iPhone Pro will come in at least one new color.
Yeah.
Rang the bell for myself. Yeah, Pacific Blue replaces Midnight Green. Silver stays as it's always been. The gold is new and way more goldish.
Gold, yep.
I don't know. It's very, very shiny.
Well,
very
only the
bright.
sides. The back is still kind of,
Muted.
Yeah.
And they've replaced Space Gray with Graphite, which is a much better name, but it retains, the dark stainless edges, like the like my Space Gray 11 Pro. What do y'all think about the blue in the iPhone Pro line versus the blue in the iPhone 12 line? Because they are very different. I wonder if you guys have any like leaning one way or the other.
I like the Pro one. I really do. I haven't actually even looked at the standard iPhone 12. What does it look like? Let's see.
The color.
Yeah.
I think it might. I mean, it's always difficult to tell, but it looks much closer to the Apple Watch, which I guess makes sense because that's aluminium, isn't it? So the Apple Watch is blue and the iPhone 12's blue, I think, look more similar. But I would like to see all that in person because I guess they don't have a blue stainless steel watch, do they? It's just the aluminium one. So it kind of makes sense that it would color match more closely. And I guess the green and blue on these is the same as the green and blue on the iPad. Maybe? The green looks similar, but the blue doesn't.
Yeah, they're kind of in the same like vein, but yeah, they are a little bit different. So I guess what we're saying is blue is the new Space Gray. What is blue according to Apple? It's all over the place.
It's all of them. It's all the different blues.
Yeah.
I was pretty confident that I would go for blue, right? That I would just trade in green for blue. But when they showed off that gold stainless steel, I was watching a video and she turned to me. She's like, "You like that one, don't you?" I was like, "Yeah, I do. Yes, that's I think that's the one for me, boys."
Give it to me.
I am very into that gold. Very into it. It
That
looks
gold
very special.
It looks really good. I'm torn between those two for the Pro, the blue and the gold. The graphite I don't really like.
No,
It's kind of
boring.
brownish. I really
Boring.
dislike it. What a
boring
I
color.
do like the what's it called? The silver for the standard iPhone 12.
Yeah.
The white or silver one. That looks really nice. But on the Pro, it's either gonna be blue or gold.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can always tell by the way that Apple chooses to photograph.
Yeah.
Right, so like all of the iPhone 12s, they have their own images, right?
Yeah.
All the colors have their own images. It is incredibly difficult to try and find any images of either the silver or graphite Pro Maxes.
Yeah. I don't know what they've done with the graphite, honestly. Like, why do you hate the color gray? Why have you done this year? Do you have like a personal revenge against the color
it's
gray?
like they've tried a million different ways to do the color gray, and like now they're just trying again with a new name. It's very
It's
weird.
the ugliest gray I've ever seen in my life, I think.
But
it's
people seem to really like the space gray watch. But as we said, like, no, not space gray, graphite, sorry. But there's nothing to say that the graphite watch is even close to the graphite phone, because what is the graphite watch made out of?
graphite.
It's the titanium, right?
Can you imagine? Just be marking everything. Is it steel? Is it steel?
I don't know if it's the steel or the titanium.
It's steel. Space black is titanium.
That's right. They kept the Space Black name but moved it to the other
Because
material.
this is the
What
problem,
are you doing?
right? Because I'm sure that the Pro, I bet the rails look close-ish, but then the whole rest of the body has got this kind of like, it's a weird color. You can see it. The most you can get of the kind of the back and front is when you go to the product selection page.
Yeah.
And honestly, you could show me that picture and tell me it was the green one, and I'd probably believe you.
Yeah. It's weird how they treat it, definitely. And it's weird that they don't really show off the colors on the website, like you said, in a very good way. Like, the blue and the gold are in all the product shots because, you know, they want to show off the new color, just like they did with Midnight Green last year.
Yeah, and I think the gold one looks so good. They're giving that a lot of, because gold is not new, right? Like they've been doing gold forever now. But I think that they know that gold stainless looks super good. So that's the one I'm going to be planning to be going for. Spoilers for later in the show.
Okay. So at the end of round 2, Federico has 2 points, Mike has 1 point, and I have 2 points.
It's not looking good for me.
It's not looking good for you, but we're going to come to the risky picks, and everything could change after this break. This episode of Connected is brought to you by ExpressVPN. So there's this documentary on Netflix people are talking a lot about called The Social Dilemma. It focuses on how people use social media and how the companies that control these services learn everything about us based on the info we freely give them. In this documentary, tech insiders explain how social media is engineered to exploit data for profit. They call it surveillance capitalism. The way outside of, this normal type of capitalism I'm used to is like when I go buy bread, the transaction starts there. I buy some. Well, I don't eat bread, but if I bought bread for my children,
gluten-free bread.
But data is being harvested to make these huge companies rich, and my data should be my data. You shouldn't make money for me. I don't give you permission to do that. An ExpressVPN can help you draw that line. Because every time you use the internet, big tech companies can mine your data by tracking your searches, messages, and history. But when you run ExpressVPN on your devices, it hides your IP address, which websites use to personally identify you. And that makes your activity more difficult to trace and sell to advertisers. You still need to be cautious, of course, of what you share on social media, but ExpressVPN can make your web browsing more anonymous. It encrypts 100% of your internet data to keep you safe from hackers and prying eyes. Many VPNs slow you down, but not ExpressVPN. It's incredibly fast and easy to use. Just tap one button and you're protected. I use ExpressVPN all the time because I don't want my ISP to see what I'm up to, especially if I'm traveling. I'm on networks I don't know. I always make sure that's checked on, and it really is fast. You can't even tell you're on a VPN. I've streamed video over ExpressVPN accidentally, and like, oh, this works totally fine. You really don't even notice it's running, which is fantastic from a speed perspective. So if you don't like the idea of tech companies exploiting your personal information, then go to expressvpn.com/connected. When you go there, you get 3 extra months of ExpressVPN for free. That's expressvpn.com/connected to protect your data. One last time, expressvpn.com/connected to learn more. All right, risky pick number 1. Federico, this was yours. You said one of the new iPhones with LiDAR has a new portrait feature thanks to new sensors.
Yeah.
I didn't think you were going to get this. They went really far into the photo section, and they're like, "Oh, it has night mode. Was it night mode portrait because of the LiDAR? You pulled it out."
Yeah. So, as I told you last week, my reasoning for this was they are adding LiDAR to the iPhone. Now, obviously, we have the same component on the iPad Pro, and they haven't done much. Well, they have done nothing at all on the iPad Pro in terms of photography. They've only used it for AR. But my thought was, if they're bringing this to the iPhone, certainly they're going to do something for photography. And in fact, I also had other picks. Like I had in the flexes, I had one about augmented reality that I did not get. However, like as I was thinking about the Rickies, I considered photography is the most important feature of the iPhone. And then bringing LiDAR. And certainly they must do something with LiDAR and photography because it's right there and they need to explain it in a way that sells you on the idea of the Pro that is not just about AR. And so I thought, what does LiDAR do? And I figured LiDAR helps you better capture the scene around you. And supposedly it can help you, because of the people recognition that they have in the framework, it could help you. Like I was thinking exactly about this kind of stuff. It could help you with autofocus or with finding people in scenarios where it might be tricky to find people in a scene without LiDAR. Now, specifically in this case, they said on the iPhone 12 Pro, and we checked multiple times, it's in the press release, it's on the website, you can now take night mode portraits, which is exactly the kind of like the overall idea that I had in mind. What's a portrait mode that couldn't be possible without LiDAR? In absence of light, it might be tricky to find a person in front of the camera. And with LiDAR, you can. And so with LiDAR, they've been able to do night mode portraits on the iPhone 12 Pro. I was feeling very nervous as they were running through the features of the iPhone 12 Pro, and they showed nothing about portrait. And then they said, "Oh, and by the way, we also enabled." I think it was in the recap video. They just said, "Oh, yeah, now you can take night mode portraits." And I was like, did I say that? And we started exchanging messages in the
Yeah, because
thread.
it was also that one of the things that made it confusing for us was that what something they did do for all the phones is night mode works on every camera, but
Yeah,
only the
yeah.
the Pro phones have portrait in night mode.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's tricky, but that's the difference.
Yeah. So I think a common theme with this pick and the last event's risky pick was that I tried to guess based on what new hardware, like what new component are you adding to the device, and how can you likely use that in software. I think if you remember with the Apple Watch, I said that they're gonna add a new built-in app to the watch.
Mm-hmm.
And that was for the blood oxygen app.
Mm-hmm.
So the common theme was, if you're adding sensors, what does that mean for the software? And specifically about LiDAR, I had a feeling that they were not going to stop at AR because that wouldn't be enough of a compelling message for a new iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very happy. I felt very anxious about this one because I didn't think I would get it. So I'm really happy that I did.
Yeah, I mean, I think we agreed with you that the LiDAR would do something to the camera, but we didn't think it would be portrait. And so that's where you really won on that one. You were specific, but you were spot on. It was a very good pick.
Thank you.
I did not get my pick, which was that the new iPhone with a Touch ID sensor. It was look, I think I said it. It was part wish, right? And part like this could be possible. I really wanted it to be the case. Did not pan out.
Yeah. Because your argument was maybe they've been able to turn around the production of the iPhone 12 Pro to account for the pandemic.
Yeah. But also the possibility was always that they were always planning this. Because I mean, Apple knows that Face ID was not as big a smash hit as Touch ID was, right? Like, people love Touch ID, and then Face ID. Lots of people don't like Face ID. They prefer Touch ID, right? So I think there's always been the possibility of having both on a device. So this could have always been the plan, right? It wouldn't necessarily have had to have been because of the pandemic. But there were two routes for me where I think it could have happened. Neither of them ended up coming to the fore.
I was sad for you to lose this.
Yeah.
This is definitely something that
it was something we all wanted, right? Like this
really
would have been
wanted
one
it
of
to be
those
true.
ones where like Mike's happy he got his Ricky, but everyone's happy Mike got his Ricky. And
I would have been a 50% sore loser.
I know
if you got this pick right.
Yeah, which for you is good.
It's great progress when you think about it.
I did have this sort of crazy like daydream thought last night of what if they released a MagSafe accessory that was Touch ID? That'd be cool. Not really possible, but cool.
It'd be the biggest fingerprint sensor of all time. So, hi, you want your fingerprint sensor? Here you go.
Here you go.
Take that.
Yeah. All right. I also did not get mine. The iPhone Pro did not move to USB-C.
I can't believe how
Steven,
sure you were at this. Jason mentioned to me, I don't remember if it was on Upgrade or outside of the show, was saying that like Stephen was joking, right, about how serious he was. And I don't believe you were. Am I right in my belief?
No, I had faith.
I know you did. It was blind faith, I think.
It didn't pan out.
Didn't.
Definitely did not pan out. No, I thought it was possible.
You seemed like you were very sure of it, though. Like, this is more than possible.
It made so much sense to me that this is how they would do it. And the iPad Air just seemed to like, yeah, they're going to do it. It wasn't, it didn't happen.
No.
We warned you, though. We told you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you sure you want to pick this one this year?
I know.
And
no, you tried to save me from myself, which I appreciate.
It's just something which it's just one of those like self-fulfilling type things where like you had this thought months ago and you said it, right? Like this is like maybe 6 weeks ago or something, and this was going to be your risky pick, but then the iPhone didn't come in the last event, so you didn't end up picking it. And I think it was one of those things where like you were so sure because you came up with it, and then because nobody else wanted to pick it, you were like, aha, everyone wants it, but they know they can't pick it. But no, neither of us wanted the pick. Right.
Yeah.
We're happy for you to have it
we
because
try to warn you.
yeah.
We try.
As someone in the Discord said, it sounded like I was, quote, little birdie told me, confident. Like I knew it.
Yeah,
You know?
you were that kind of level.
Like sometimes Federico knows things, that sort of thing.
No, when I do, I
Mhm.
tell you. When I always do.
Sure.
Also, wouldn't it be fun to play the Rickies if I had information?
Insider information. All right,
Mhm.
so let's tally the score. Federico, you had a perfect game.
Oh,
Once again.
So 4 points for you.
I prefer Federico to win like this than what
Yeah.
I was convinced was going to happen, which was a 3-way coin toss knockout competition. So Federico,
Of course, you prefer me to
congratulations.
win. It's beautiful to watch me win. Like I can understand why from the
Come on,
outside
here we
it's a
go.
spectacle. I get it. Thank you. I know that it must be a beautiful thing to watch. Get all the points like this. My God, twice in a row with 2 events.
I know.
Now we just gotta get the. I've decided that I'm gonna start referring to myself as we for the Rickies. So now we just gotta get the next event as well.
Why we?
Oh, the royal we, because I
Yeah, but,
feel like
why have you made this decision?
I think it gives me a more of an official tone. I
Right.
kind of like it. We have decided,
Mm.
Is it just you and John?
No, just
That's what I
me,
think about.
me, myself, and I. It's
Okay.
You
we
and
are,
your secret
yes.
sources that give you all of the information so you can win the Rickies.
Me and
Mhm.
my medium-sized birdies. I don't have little birdies. They're more like
Them
chickens.
big buddies.
They're like chickens.
Wait, is it Craig?
No,
We all
even
know
though I
you're
have his
friends with
iMessage.
Is Craig Federighi throwing the Rickies?
No. He doesn't participate.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In second place, we have me with 2 right answers, but I missed my Ricky, so I have 1 point. And in third place, we have Mike with 0 points. He got
Yep.
1 right and 1 wrong, but he missed his Ricky, so that is no points. So it's Federico, and then Mike. Federico, and then me, and then Mike.
And we'll probably do it all over again
In 3 weeks.
in about
Now
3 to 4
I gotta do
weeks.
my research about the Macs,
The
like what
Macintosh.
people like about the Macintosh and what people want to
Yeah.
see in the Apple Silicon Mac. Like I gotta
You genuinely, I think, have to do some work if you want to win the next ones.
I have to do the work. I have no idea what we're talking about, but we are still gonna win. So we need to do the work.
I am feeling okay in the fact that I have picked up at least 1 more annual prediction point. So I am feeling good about taking that annual title away from you.
Oh, we will deal with that later, because right now we have flexies to do.
Oh God.
So let me remind people of the flexi rules, just because it's been 2 hours
It's
since I
been
read
so
them.
long since you heard the rules. You must have forgotten the rules. We don't give the rules enough.
Loser of the non-graded flexies must compensate the winner of the flexies by donating to the charity of the winner's choice. The amount of the donation is $25 per wrong flexi made by the loser. In case of a tie, the ratio of correct to incorrect flexi will be taken into account. Each host must make a minimum of 5 flexi picks. We all did just 5 this time because I lost last time because I went with 6. And the money must be donated on air. So, Federico, give us your flexies.
All right. Let's see. Well, the problem here is that this wasn't a music event, and I really thought that it was also going to be a music event.
You went heavy in music, really heavy in music.
Yeah. So thankfully, these were the flexes, not the regular picks. So I said Apple launches a new HD tier for Apple Music for high resolution streaming. Then I said, and I'm very surprised that we didn't get this one, but I can also see why this could be an iOS 15 type of thing at this point. Apple launches an AR navigation mode for Apple Maps. Then I said Apple launches a new AirPods app for iPhone, similar to how we have a Watch app. I thought we could also have an AirPods app. Then I said iOS 14.2 Shazam recognition is demoed. And lastly, this is the only one that I got right. Apple introduces a new proximity-based software feature for iPhone based on the U1 chip. This one we did get with the new HomePod Mini. They have uses the proximity and the U1 chip for handoff, which is something that the previous HomePod cannot do since it doesn't support the U1 chip, but the new one, the HomePod Mini does. So they did show off a new proximity-based feature. The other things we didn't get, however, allow me to speculate here. So obviously I got 4 flexis wrong and 1 correct. My speculation is that 14.2 will be released alongside the HomePod Mini, because they are the things that they showed off, specifically how the proximity-based handoff, and how they mentioned how when you get close to the HomePod, you get music suggestions on the lock screen.
Mm-hmm.
By those music suggestions, I'm 90% sure that they mean the new Now Playing control that you get in 14.2, when nothing is playing on your device, the Now Playing thing on the lock screen, it shows you suggestions for albums and podcasts. Right. And you put 2 and 2 together, I think 14.2 will launch in November, and it'll be required for the HomePod Mini.
And also, like, all of these things, all of these picks could still happen whenever they unveil headphones. They just didn't do that yet.
I think I'm going to reuse some of these.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think...
Picks may not be reused.
Ooh, damn!
Okay. Well, yeah. No big deal, because I can just talk about headphones.
The problem with picks cannot be reused. It relies on all of us remembering all the picks.
That's true.
No, it's fine. I mean...
I think we would remember, or the Discord would remember. Mm-hmm. We have communal memory.
The only thing that kind of sucks is I cannot reuse Shazam recognition is demoed, but I'm fine with everything else. I mean, the AirPods app was a stretch, and at this point, I've kind of lost faith in the HD tier for Apple Music, because I don't know if they want to introduce a new tier for Apple One. So yeah, I'm actually happy that
it comes with Premiere.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm actually happy that I didn't include my previews. If you remember, I had a headphone pick in the document before we did the Rickies.
Yeah.
And I exchanged, I swapped that for the AirPods app. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that I didn't cover the headphones, so I can reuse that one maybe. But yeah, I only got 1 flexi right.
I would like to make another suggestion for an amendment here. The picks that we're not allowed to reuse shouldn't include flexis.
Yeah, actually, the way that it's structured now, it is not in the flexis subdocument, so I think that's okay.
I think reusing flexis or using flexis as regular picks later on should be fine. I just think
I'm going to say flexis may be reused as future flexis,
because we throw so much stuff into these.
Yes.
Like, I'm looking along this list, and if we don't reuse some of these for the next event, our picks are going to be very boring. Because there is a lot of stuff that the 3 of us picked that we put in flexis because there might not be headphones or Macs at the event. So... So Federico got 1 flexi pick. These were mine. Updated Apple TV, did not get that. No new Macs announced, did get that. New HomePod model, did get that. Apple TV Plus trailers are shown, did not get that. Over-ear AirPods are offered with multiple material options, did not get that. So I lost out in the flexis the same way that I lost out in the upgrade draft by believing there would be a new Apple TV. There was not a new Apple TV. I was genuinely very surprised. Like, I was waiting for the moment when they were going to show off the Apple TV, because it seems obvious at this point that they have to update that hardware because it's so friggin' old. Mm-hmm. And I would have expected them to have more TV content to show, because there is stuff still coming this year. But I would expect that if there is another event in this year, which would probably include which would be probably focused around Macs mainly, I could see that very much including TV along with some audio stuff. But I got 2, so I beat Federico, so I didn't lose this.
Yep. Federico has 1, you have 2. My picks were Jaws presents a new product. Got correct. An AR demo is shown. Correct. I'm really surprised
what was the
about
AR
the next
demo?
They had a in the video they showed the Medtronic company, which actually has an office here in Memphis, which is why it jumped out at me. Using AR to like
good call.
lay out a hospital room or something.
Yeah, I remember that now. I forgot it at the point.
Yeah. Big Sur gets a release date. It did not. In fact, it just got a new beta this morning.
Yeah.
The beta 10 on Big Sur. iPad Air pre-order date announced. Didn't happen. And then finally, yes, at least some of the new iPhones have 5G. So I have won the Flexies.
Did you feel dirty winning that Flexi
No.
because of how much you have denied?
No. Look, a man of the people is willing to change his mind as new data comes. So.
Oh, you keep saying this thing about the man of the people. That would be you, right?
Yes.
I don't think somebody that invokes the royal we, Federico, could be in consideration for being a man of the people.
Oh, no, see. I am a man of the people.
No, but you can't go by royal we if you're a man of the people.
I only go with the royal we with you two. But I'm a man of the people with other people. Just not with you two. You know?
No, I
and
don't
the people
know.
And the people love me. The people love me. And they understand
Right.
that when it comes to the competition, I got to use the royal we.
Right.
Okay.
But I'm a man of the people. I'm more of a man of the people than Steven, in fact.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, you, man of the people, need to make a donation. So
very
hope you have your,
gladly so. All right.
Yes,
so
you have your card ready. So it's $25 per wrong Flexi. You made 4 wrong ones, so it'll be $100.
wait, how much? How much?
$100 US dollars.
Okay.
And I'm going to put this in the Discord. I have chosen the Forrest Spence Fund. It's a nonprofit here in Memphis. And what they do is they take funds from generous people like you, and they help meet individual and institutional needs of families with sick children. And so if your
that's
kid
awesome.
is in the ICU or they're at St. Jude, and they're in Memphis and Nashville, a bunch of other cities in the South, counseling, financial grant. So if you're having trouble paying your rent or your car note because you can't work because your kid is in the hospital, they help meet those financial needs. And I think it'd be really awesome if you would donate to them.
Yeah. Okay. So that's forestspencefund.org.
Yes.
Donate. Doing this live as per the Bill Rickers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look, $100 is already a pre-chosen amount on their form. That's nice.
I can choose any location or Memphis, Nashville, and Chattanooga.
Nice
Yes.
work. Yeah.
Well done.
You got it. Well
I would
done.
say
Is that a real
any
place?
location.
Yeah.
Is that
Bradley Chambers lives there.
How do you
Yeah.
call people from Chattanooga? The
Chattanoogans.
The Noogs.
Okay.
Chattanooga is a lovely city. It's actually
So-
really awesome.
I am going to pick Memphis.
Okay.
Common designated donations. Oh, no, I can just say $100.
Yeah, they have
Yep.
a button, $100 button.
So prefix Mr. That'd be
Yes.
me.
We don't need to
We-
go through the entire form together.
Yeah, don't read your address out loud.
Yeah, what's your credit card number? I can put it in
Hold
for
on.
you.
Yes, it's an Apple card. No, it's not. It's not an Apple card.
Why don't we take a break?
Okay.
And Federico can continue
Thank
his
you.
donation and confirm
Okay.
it when we're back from the break.
This episode of Connected is brought to you by Incipio. Founded way back in 1999, Incipio was born with a love for tech and at the time, a novel idea to protect your phone. Now, 20 years later, they're still innovating and designing phone cases made with you in mind. No gimmicks, just performance. Look, there's no secret amongst relay listeners that I've broken a phone or 8 over the years. Dropped one down a flight of stairs, dropped one out of my car. One just fell off my desk and broke. I'm a little accident prone.
You're a phone breaker for sure.
Yes. Yeah, big break energy over here. The Duo case from Incipio combines minimalistic design with maximum protection. and you now get up to 12 feet of drop protection with their new Impact Strut technology. It's important now more than ever to protect yourself too. Their antimicrobial protection emulates 99.9% of surface bacteria and germs that don't wear or wash off. If you don't need the new iPhone 12, but you still need a case, no worries. They're available for the iPhone 11, 10, SE, 8, and 7 series. The Duo is wireless charging and 5G compatible, and all of this is backed by their lifetime guarantee. You can purchase your Duo case online at Verizon.com or your local Verizon store, or you can purchase on the web at Incipio, that's INCIPIO.com. If you use the code CONNECTIT, you'll get 20% off. So go check out their cases to get that peace of mind for your phone. Available for purchase at Verizon.com or Incipio.com with 20% off with the code CONNECTED. That's 20% off at Incipio.com with the code CONNECTED. Our thanks to Incipio for their support of this show and Relay FM.
Stephen, you have picked an organization that does not let me donate from Italy.
Wow. That's rough. Okay, so send me the $100 and I will donate in your honor.
Okay. How can I... What's the easiest way to do this with you?
Do you have Apple Cash?
Doesn't
No.
exist outside of America.
Doesn't exist outside of America.
Do you have PayPal?
Yeah, I do. Or...
I'm sending you my personal PayPal address.
Okay, hold on.
I was waiting.
Okay.
I was wondering how long is it going to be until this happens, and it happened the second time.
Which just means I'm going to be donating to a bunch of places.
Hey, well,
Fine
it
with me.
depends.
Yeah.
What you're assuming you're going to win all the time.
I was also gonna make it funny and write in the field in memory of Stephen Hackett.
Yeah.
I was gonna do that.
I'm doing it in honor of Federico Viticci.
Thank you.
So there are some other things that we should cover. I think MagSafe is probably the biggest, and honestly, I think the biggest surprise. It didn't really leak until the very last minute, I don't think. So this is a ring of magnets in the back of the 12 and the 12 Pro line that Apple is using to connect a bunch of cases. So the silicone case, the leather case is coming. It's just not on the website right now. The world's ugliest clear case.
so bad.
Why did they show... So the clear case, if you haven't seen, I guess there'll be a link in the show notes. It's clear with white embedded plastic. Is that magnets in the case, or is it just showing you where the magnets are? I don't understand.
It's magnets
why
in
the
the
clear
case.
case is what it is.
How else would it stick on?
That's a good point. I guess the case is
And I guess
plastic, not
it
metal.
also needs to maybe have like some kind of pass-through magnet, right?
Can't you make transparent magnets? Isn't that a thing?
Don't think it is, my friend. No, I
They don't exist? That's so
don't
bad.
think so. No.
Can we invent them?
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
Do you know? Do you have a magnet guy?
Not yet. I
We
can
can
work
find
on that though if you want.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
I
So
don't know, it
I'll
just
work
feels
on
very
that.
inconvenient that magnets cannot be transparent.
Yeah, I guess so.
Isn't there like any transparent metal that we can make? I don't know. I'm sorry. I gotta go back to the PayPal thing. You go on.
Okay.
But save this idea. It's a good one.
Okay. Yeah, writing it down. So yeah, it is this whole series of accessories cases. There's a wallet now, which I'm interested in. And, of course, the charging puck, which it looks like the Apple Watch puck, just the width of an iPhone. And it snaps on there, and so it all works together. So it's a whole series of things. I imagine that there will be a wide range of third-party accessories that work with this system in the future. But yeah, I think it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, there's a bunch of accessories that are coming later. Like there are no leather cases or anything right now. They have that little sleevey guy, like that shows a little window in it. That's all coming later. Companies like PopSocket have announced that they will do something. Apple showed off those Belkin ones, which includes like a car mount and stuff. I'm happy to see Apple create something again where they're allowing for companies to get involved rather than companies just getting involved, right? Like this is reminiscent of the MFI program, the made for iPod. I think that started out. Because look, you put magnets on the back of an iPhone, companies are going to make cases with magnets in them, like whatever, right? But
Yeah.
this little, it has a little chip in it, so it can recognize if there's something attached, which is quite cool because then that could enable for different functionality, I guess, that kind of stuff. So I'm pleased to see this. I'm pleased they're doing this. It's interesting. Like magnetic cases is interesting. Like, do they not have any like front protection on them anymore? Like, I'm intrigued to see how
I looked
that
at the
works.
photos of the silicone cases, which are on the site now, and it looks like if the lip does extend past the display, it is very minimal. It definitely isn't the way it is now, and the cases go around the bottom, which means the lip can't go out that far because then it interferes with the swipey action. So I think the magnet is probably doing the bulk of the work to hold the case to the phone now. The Apple cases, at least.
Yeah, which is cool. I mean, but look, really, the star of the show is the magnetic charging thing, right? Like, that's the whole point of this, is why it exists.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Will the two of you be looking to move to MagSafe charging away from your Qi charging?
Absolutely.
What about the million Qi chargers you've bought, Federico?
Okay, I'll throw them in the trash.
They're all going straight in the trash? You could probably do something different with... Okay, good.
I'll
there you
give
go.
them
That's
to
better.
friends. I'll
That's
give them to
better.
friends. No, the only thing I threw in the trash recently was the Siri remote. I do not apologize for not recycling that because it deserves to be in the trash.
Okay.
As it's the worst product ever made.
Right.
So everything else I will recycle, not the Siri remote. I'm sorry. Just, got its... the place it deserves. What I will do is I will replace the wallet case that I have with the Apple one, I think. And I'm already thinking of the color combinations. Sort of like I'm leaning toward the following combo: gold phone, red case, black wallet. Maybe.
Interesting combo.
Maybe. I think it's really fun how you can now mix and match and consider like the color of the phone and the case and the wallet. But also, like, I'm sure that there's going to be third-party manufacturers now joining the MagSafe fun.
PopSocket will definitely make a wallet. Like,
yeah,
they already make a wallet. So
I've really enjoyed living the iPhone as a wallet lifestyle for the past year.
Right.
Like, I never remember we talked about the Bellroy wallet case that I started using last year, and I never stopped.
But it was the case of you had to take it out of the case and put it in a new case every time.
Exactly. And this time I can just leave the small Apple wallet by the front door, and then I can just attach that one when I go out, which I think is even better. So it depends how many cards you can put in there. I'm guessing 3 will be fine. So like ID, credit card, and ATM card. Like, that's all I need.
Right.
Hopefully it can hold up to 3 cards. But yeah, the color combos will be fun to put together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they will be. And as far as we know, this is just for charging, but you can see a world where they have data working over something like this too, and then the port just goes away. And everyone just has one of these plugged into their car.
Steven, you should have the money. You should have the money with the.
I do have the money, and I have donated in. It was in honor or in memory of. I did in honor of you.
Thank you. Did you get my personalized message on PayPal?
Oh, I didn't. Let me see. I just saw the email that you have money.
I sent you a personalized note along with the payment.
Let's see. Go to PayPal. Mike, what do you think about the cases? You're already a silicone case, right? Oh, come on. You said I'm a man of the people as your note? Ridiculous.
My plan, no case, remember? Hashtag no case Mike. That's what I want to be with this phone.
Is that a hashtag? Is that a hashtag?
It is now.
Okay.
I just made it one.
No, you said remember hashtag.
Well,
no case
remember that I am no case boy at the moment. I have no case on my iPhone. I have had no case on my iPhone for a long time. I will be continuing no case. At least that's the plan. I might buy a case, but my plan will be to not use it unless I get the phone and immediately realize I need to have a case again. But my plan is no case. I will get a pop socket for this phone. And as soon as there is a pop socket available from Pop Sockets, which works with MagSafe, which I reckon will be months away. I will get that. And at that point, I will become a wireless charging person. It's been my decision that I've made. Because my main hold-up for wireless charging at the moment is that it doesn't work with pop sockets. I have the pop socket charger, but because of where I put the pop socket on my phone, it's not lined up properly. It doesn't work properly. So when I am able to use a magnetic pop socket, I will just be able to take it off and put my phone on charge nice and easy. And I really like the thought of that, and so that's what I'm planning on doing. What I find really interesting, I don't know if you've seen this, that the MagSafe works with every phone that has Qi charging in it, just as a Qi charger. Did you know that?
Yeah, but you get different speeds for
yes,
charging.
you do get different speeds. Yeah. You get regular speed. They do 15-watt charging, but only with the MagSafe. Otherwise, it's all nice. 7.5, so that is better.
Which is very nice.
But yeah, I just find that interesting that like you could put your iPhone 11 on one of these and it will charge it. And it's $39.
Yeah, I'm going to get all the MagSafe accessories. I think this will be
cool.
this will be like the USB-C thing all over again when I first got the iPad Pro 2 years ago. And I started buying all the USB-C things that I could find. And I think it's going to be the same with MagSafe. It's even better because it's like an app.
You could write an article, The Modular iPhone.
The modular iPhone. This is my next big thing, the modular iPhone.
Modular iPhone. You know what we haven't spoken about yet? How great the Pro Max is. And why it's better than all the other phones again, and how happy I am about that.
It's the best phone to get again. We have gone back to a few years ago. Finally. Where the big phone is also best phone.
Big phone has more features. The big phone has bananas camera stuff. So every phone has camera improvements, but the Pro Max's camera improvements are better than the improvements of any other camera. With the two main things is a way better wide angle lens, which is the regular camera, has 87% low light improvement, which is a huge number. And then also the sensor shift, is it called? Which is a new optical image stabilization on that camera as well. So sounds really great. I'm very excited about that because I'm happy to have the big phone because people are like, oh, these people with a big phone. But now we're back to the world where the people with the big phone you get to be jealous of if you don't have a big phone, which is why at this point, let's turn all of our attention to Mr. Flip-Flop.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Flip-Flop.
Hello. How's it going in Flip-Flop land?
You were part of the initial haters, along with Federico, when the first big phone was announced, and I was all in. Then both of you joined Plus Club with me.
How beautiful was my apology, though?
It was great. Mike was right. It's where it all really took on.
I'm a great apology man. Yeah. In addition to being a man of the people, I make great apologies. Whenever I apologize,
is you a sore apology now? Is this? It's very peculiar.
When I apologize, people get all emotional and stuff, and they're like, "Thank you for that beautiful apology."
Okay. Yeah. So now Federico's stuck with me. He understood big phone, best phone.
Yeah.
Then for some reason, Stephen, when did you change?
So I bought the 10S Max, and then I ended up with switching to the 10S, and the 10S Max went to a family member.
Was that after you broke one?
Maybe.
Probably. I mean, it seems likely. Odds are good.
Which time?
Hard to tell.
So how you feeling?
So I mean, I've been really going back and forth on this because I don't mind the size of the 12 Pro. It's the old 10R 11 size, and that's a fine size. And if it was just the telephoto lens being better, I wouldn't do it. But because the regular wide angle lens has so much better low light performance, and it has the better optical image stabilization where the sensor moves and not the lens.
I forgot the telephoto was better too. Yeah, the telephoto is also better.
Yeah. So because they're both better, and because the wide angle is obviously what you use the most, I will be returning to the Max Club.
Yes.
So I'm not super enthusiastic. There's still some reservation in me, but I know that I would rather
but-
have the
But
camera.
I know what's gonna happen here.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get the Max phone.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna like it.
Mm-mm.
You're gonna return it after
Mhm.
10 days.
Ooh.
You're gonna try the small one. You're gonna realize you made a mistake, and you're gonna get the Max again.
Oh,
You're gonna
wow.
Yeah.
So you're saying buys phone, returns
He
within
buys the- he
return
buys them-
window,
Yes.
gets
Gets the
small
smaller
phone.
one. Realizes he's made a huge mistake. Goes
Gets
back
big
to
one.
the Max again. Yeah,
Huh.
for sure.
That's interesting. What I reckon will happen is he will buy it and will end up buying another one outside of the return window after like a couple of months, and it's the small one. That's what I reckon. Steven's
I
gonna
also
do.
like your theory.
Yeah.
Stephen, any thoughts on your future?
I don't know why you would ever doubt me. My track record is so
It's impeccable.
spotless in this area. No, I mean, look, the low light camera deal, like low light means indoor photography, right?
Yep.
That's where most people end up taking low light photos, and I am excited about that. Kate in the Discord is saying that I'll get the Mini just to try it out at one point. This is why I wish my Apple Store is open. It's been closed since
Very
March,
likely.
That's
Also.
I'd like to
also
see the Mini
incredibly likely.
and
It's just-
experience
yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that because I'm not interested in the Mini as a phone for me. But I'm going to go Max so I can get the camera, and I think I'm going to go silver because I really like the way raw stainless steel looks. So I'm going to go silver, and I'm going to do probably a black leather case, and then I'm going to do the wallet as well.
You see, the thing is, though, this is my concern for you.
Mm-hmm.
This phone is significantly bigger than the one it's replacing.
I don't know about significantly.
I think any change in screen size, you feel it.
Yeah.
And
Who is gonna complain to no end about it? Oh, this phone is too big. My hands. I'm an
Yep.
old guy, and the bones in my hands are all creaky and stuff.
brittle.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, so I should just get the 12 Pro on Friday and just like have my new phone a month before you?
I mean, you can do that if you want to, but you're going to be really upset when we're showing off how good our camera is. But like, Frederick, I don't know how you feel, but like, I am like, I'm going to, look, there's no question in my mind now, but like, there is a part of me that's like, whoa, how is a 6.7 inch display going to feel?
Oh no, totally gonna be fine. We
You
are
reckon?
tall guys, and we are okay. We have big hands. We
Okay.
know how to use large objects,
Big
and
hands,
we're good.
full
we're
hearts, can't
Yeah.
lose.
good. Tall guys. It's like Fall Guys, but it's just me and you running around.
Okay. So what are we going from 6.5 to 6.7? It doesn't seem
It's-
like a lot, but I bet you. I'm confident that we'll know it's bigger, right? Like I really do feel like you'll get it and be like, oh, this is definitely a bigger phone.
You think so? 0.2 inches.
Yeah.
Nah.
I mean, the nice thing is I work at home and I'm not going anywhere, so it's not like I have to put it in a pocket. I can carry it on a tray out to my office every day.
You can just pretend that your hand grew a little smaller. It's not a bigger phone.
That's fun.
It's you. Yeah,
Blame your own body. Don't blame the phone.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the Max. I kind of have to make a decision today. The pre-orders are on Friday. They're in 2 days, but I'm going to be in the woods
Right.
starting in about 3 hours. It's the last thing I do before vacation. I will not be on the internet on Friday. And I had a deal with John, if pre-orders are on Friday, I'm going to send you my credit card number and you buy me a phone. If
Why
it was
does
willing.
everybody trust John so much?
John
for stuff
Voorhees?
like this? Why do
Yes.
we all trust him? Like I would do that too.
He's very trustworthy.
He's a very trustworthy
I
person.
don't know many people that I would give my credit card number to, but I would trust John.
See? Exactly.
Oh yeah, you can totally give it to John. You can trust. He's a very trustworthy person.
Yeah.
And because he's so trustworthy, also like, he's a very good person. Has a big heart. You don't want to get on John's wrong side,
Right.
right? And that makes him all the more trustworthy, because when he gets upset, he gets really upset.
Right, but at the same time, if he screwed you over, right,
No,
and
he's
you
not
took
gonna
him
do
to
that.
court, he'd win.
Yeah.
That's true.
Also that.
But that doesn't that therefore make it like, do you want to trust him? You know?
I mean, you don't have a choice but to trust him.
I guess so.
You can only trust him.
You
You
have
can
no
only
choice.
trust him.
What's the alternative?
Yeah.
I
That's a
mean,
good
this
point.
is the same. This is the person who's shipped HomePods, right?
Yeah.
Keyboards,
Yep.
comic books, video games, posters.
Wait, this is
From
all just
America.
to you, though,
Just
Yeah.
to me.
right?
Amazon Echoes, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
He drove through a storm to get me a HomePod
Mm-hmm.
in 2 days.
I've forgotten about that.
Poor
You're a
John.
terrible friend.
Oh my God, I am. Oh, wow.
I don't know why. I have opened myself up to Federico to get him a HomePod Mini, and now hearing these things, I don't know why I did that. I should have just left it to John to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Now
look, it's
I have,
fine.
I have like made tribute
Yeah.
of myself for this.
Look, it's fine as long as you can promise me that you will get it on launch day and
No, I
overnight
can't.
it to me.
I can't promise you I'm going to get it on
Well,
launch
then
day.
you're out. You're fired.
Right, but I can promise you that I will try, but I don't know when it's
No,
going to
that's
arrive.
not good enough.
All right,
That's
fine.
not good
Leave
enough.
it to John then.
Okay. No, seriously. I will ask John. Don't worry about it.
All right. I mean, look, I want one on launch day. I will order two, right? That's the plan, but I can't guarantee it's going to arrive.
But can you guarantee that no matter what, you will ship one to me?
No.
Yeah. So, like, it's totally fine. I get it. I am an incredibly bad person.
Would
when
you
it comes to this
ask
stuff.
John the same question you asked me just then?
Well, he drove through a storm.
No. Ask him. Ask him. Can you guarantee it? Ask him the same question. See what he says. Ask
Well,
him.
John-
Text him.
Yeah. Okay. In the group thread so we can see it.
Yeah, I just want to know if one, you would ask him, and two, I want to know what his answer is.
No,
Because if
I
he
guess
says,
I
if
guess
he
I
answers
want
yes
no,
to that,
Okay, don't make me sound like a jerk. I
I'm not.
guess my question.
no, it's not
is,
that I'm making you sound like a
what's
jerk.
the worst thing that could happen in your life that would prevent you from shipping a HomePod to me?
Wow.
Just so that I could have a threshold of guarantee. Just that.
I don't even think I could answer that question. But this is what I'm asking you. Do you ask John these questions?
Well,
He doesn't have to because John is trustworthy.
exactly.
Wait, am I not
trust-
trustworthy?
John knows. No, John knows me.
Whoa, what is this? Why is everyone questioning my trustworthiness?
I think John has a reputation of being a trustworthy fixer when it comes to this kind of problems.
Then I rescind my offer.
Wow.
If I have to, for some reason, prove myself to you, to do a favor for you,
Look, the thing
Go
is
to John.
that I don't even need a HomePod Mini. Sylvia doesn't even want one.
go to John. It's not coming from me. All right? My offer is rescinded. I will still order one for
I have
myself.
upset Mike.
No, I'm not
Look,
upset.
I'm just asking you,
I'm
what's
not
the
upset.
worst thing that could happen in your life that will prevent you from shipping me a HomePod? It's a
You know
very
what,
simple.
Federico? Loads of things, right? Honestly, loads of things could happen to me that would make that more difficult.
Okay. Thank you for your application. We'll be in touch.
No, the thing is, my offer is gone to you now. It is gone.
Uh-huh.
The offer has been rescinded. I will be ordering one for myself
Cannot
now.
rescind an offer. Because now I feel very sad. Do you make me want to feel sad?
Why am I making you feel sad?
Wow.
What are you sad
Do you
about?
take pleasure? You rescinding the offer this way makes me feel sad.
But
Can I
Federico, the reason
go?
I have done it is
Go.
because you
Need me for
questioned my
this?
trustworthiness.
I didn't question your trustworthiness. I just posed a question
Uh-huh.
in regards to thresholds.
No, but like my question back to you is, do you ask these questions to John Voorhees?
I don't have to because he's done these things enough that when he approaches me, he knows my thresholds.
I have like picked you
When-
up at airports and I have stewarded
I am
you
kidding. I obviously
from
trust
country to country.
you. For God's sake, are you serious?
But none of this matters anymore because my offer has
I'm
been
joking.
rescinded.
Come on. Oh,
I'm not upset
God.
at you by any stretch of the imagination. I am
Look-
just merely trying to understand if I am not if I'm given short shrift here when it comes to
no,
being a
look,
good friend.
this makes for a fun show, but honestly, like, I totally trust you and I don't even care about getting the HomePod Mini early.
Okay.
I just thought it was funny.
If you want me to, I will still try and order you one.
Thank you.
Okay.
But really, the problem is Sylvia, not me. So,
Do you want it?
no. she said either you sell the ones we have or you're not getting any more speakers. So I think the only exception I can make is for the Apple headphones.
Well, Sylvia doesn't listen to the show, right?
Oh no, but she can hear me now.
Because I was just going to say, like, Mike bought you a present.
No. She's
No, it
not
wouldn't
gonna
work?
believe it. No, she's not gonna believe it.
It was a lie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's
I
smart.
need this for my friend. Okay.
No, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I do need to sell some of the speakers that we have, like extra Sonos speakers, for example.
Yeah, I think you may be. I think I'm siding with Sylvia here that you probably
Yeah.
have too many.
How
many HomePods do you have?
I overspeakered myself, I think.
You have three, right?
I realized I have 3 HomePods, and I recently realized that I had a Sonos hidden behind my bedroom television that I never used, and I have another Sonos in storage, and I have 1, 2, 4 unused Amazon Echo devices,
Holy moly!
and
You need to go to the eBay store.
well, cannot that guy changed jobs? It doesn't sell stuff on eBay anymore, and I cannot tell you what he sells, but it's not eBay anymore.
Is it drugs?
Wait, what?
It's drugs.
No, it's
isn't
not
it?
drugs.
He sells drugs,
It's a
doesn't he?
Oh, no, okay, come on. It's a sex store, okay?
Oh,
He runs okay? That's what he runs now. Okay,
I brought this
fine.
upon myself.
Yes.
Okay.
Ah. So
Okay.
anyway.
Okay.
Look, Italy, like Europe has different
Guys,
sensibilities.
I just want to go on vacation.
What is this show? Can we please end this show now?
Yeah.
Please.
Yes, ending the show. Okay. If you want to find links to things we spoke about, head on over to relay.fm/connected/316. While you're there, there's some fun activities in which you can take part. You can send us an email with feedback or follow-up, or you can join and become a member of Connected. That gives you a bunch of really cool stuff. The coolest thing, though, is Connected Pro, which is a weekly version of the show with no ads and extra content. And today's extra content was a lot of fun. We talked about how smartphone companies roll out press embargoes, and it was really interesting conversation.
Well, you went missing for half of it, so how would you
and
know
I
what
went
we were
missing for
talking
half because
about?
my internet died.
Yep.
And I guess that's just going to stay in the show now.
Mm-hmm.
So join. We really thank you for your support if you are already a member. You can find us all out on the open internet. You can find Federico on Twitter as Viticci, Viticci. He is the editor-in-chief of MacStories.net. And y'all, if you have some time, like make time this weekend, make time tonight, don't go to work tomorrow, and read his iOS 14 review. It is fantastic. Very good.
Thank you.
Federico, I do have a question for you. Just real quickly. If you were to be an animal, what kind of animal would you be?
Oh my. Subscribe to Connected Pro and hear the answer on the post show.
Oh,
I need to think about it.
Okay. You can find Mike on Twitter as IMYKE. Mike hosts a bunch of other shows here on Relay FM.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, open your podcast player for me.
Okay.
And what is the first show you see with yellow in the artwork?
The Stratechery Daily Update.
There you go. It's good to know. You can find me on Twitter as ISMH and my writing over at 512pixels.net. I'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Smile, ExpressVPN, and Incipio. Until next time, guys, say goodbye.
Arrivederci.
Huh?
Not again.
Bye, y'all.